Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Welcome in, 100.7 The Score. It is the End of the Bench. I'm Rob Breaux alongside Craig Wells today. We are live on YouTube. 100.7 The Score. Media Days here at Texas Tech. Craig, you excited?
I am. It means the beginning of football. And I'm ready, excited. We're at Jones AT&T Stadium, Cody Campbell Field. And ready.
It's one of those days. It's the next marker in the calendar.
Yep.
Now you go from the spring game, and that's like, all right, we're through the spring. You get into it, the transfer portal's back open, it's closed, that's another date. Then you get to Big 12 Media Days early July, and you're like, all right, that's another day off the calendar, we're another month closer. Then you get to the 1st of August, the end of July, and it's local media days, and you're seeing the guys roam around. It's reaching a fever pitch here, Craig.
You know, when you really know it started is when you drive down University and you look over there and you hear a bunch of guys working out. That's when you know it's time.
You see the red lights at the Jones a little more often.
Yep.
They're up here. The music's on.
Arkansas Pine Bluff right around the corner.
1-0, baby.
Right around the corner.
1-0. We've got a lot of stuff for you today. We'll have some interviews. We'll do some other things as we move along for 3 hours. We'll also be live out here on the Bottom Line. So we'll be live from Media Days from 9 to 3. Then we'll pass it back to the studio for Tech Talk. We've got some baseball to talk about still, but mainly we'll be talking Texas Tech football today. Though the Rangers and Astros both lost yesterday. The Astros continuing a losing streak. The Rangers ending a winning streak. We'll have some headlines for you, too. What did you think about the Deion Sanders press conference yesterday? Was that what you expected? Obviously you didn't expect or know about the cancer, but did you think he was retiring or moving on? Or
once he made the announcement about the cancer and stuff, I fully expected at the very least, I'm going to sit out a year, or something. But when the lady sitting next to him said that he is cancer-free, no radio, treatments of chemotherapy or radiation or anything, I kind of sensed that maybe that gave him the green light to come back. But a very humble Deion Sanders, a very graceful Deion Sanders that we probably haven't seen. And that may have been a life-changing moment for him. I'm sure it was.
It was interesting hearing him talk about his sons and their process of getting in the NFL. And then you say, what's life look like? And he was being lighthearted.
Yeah.
But he's talking about life on the sidelines and life in Depends. And Depends was getting back at him. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some sponsorship. Maybe he gets Aflac and those other companies and now Depends. But it's commendable. It's commendable to fight through something like that. And when everybody says, oh, he's done, he's going to move on, didn't think he'd coach with his sons anyways, Deion Sanders is a flake, to stand up in front of that and say, I beat cancer, now I'm going to beat everybody on my schedule, that's pretty fun.
And, that's not his only medical issue that he's had. And for him to overcome losing toes and learning how to walk and run again and having cancer, he's been through the gambit. And for him to very graciously get up there and talk about his situation and then to end it with telling people to get checked and everything, I thought it was a side of Deion Sanders that a lot of people probably have not seen.
All right, coming up today, we'll do headlines at 9:15. We'll take the Joey McGuire press conference live at 9:30. We'll flip you over to that, and then we'll have some media day thoughts, obviously some expectations at 10 o'clock before we talk to Joey McGuire live right here on 100.7 The Score at 10:15. We'll have Coy Eakin at 10:45. or some player, and then potentially Skylar Gill-Howard at 11:15. Well, you never know what these things.
You're exactly right.
You could get the next guy or
Yeah.
somebody else, but
Yeah.
we're looking forward to potentially talking to Coy Eakin and Skylar Gill-Howard today.
You put it in pencil, not ink.
That's right. And then potentially Robert Giovannetti is going to come close with us.
Right.
So it'll be an interesting day for sure. Now, when you come to these events, you know, you're thinking two things. You're thinking it's fun to see everyone, and then you're thinking it's fun to see everyone. Like you're not really looking to dig deep in these kind of things. And you kind of know the answers before you ask them, hey, Coach, what are your expectations this year? Well, to win a Big 12 championship, Rob.
Yeah, right.
Hey, how are you feeling about your team? We're the best we've ever been.
Yeah.
We're healthy, and we've got the most depth and the most this and the most that. So we'll try to dig around a little and get Joey on with us. And I don't have a lot of grand expectations for Tech Media Day, but it always is a fun opportunity to kind of dig behind some of the regular football stuff and get a couple of fun answers from the guys.
Well, and you're going to get a chance to talk to Matt Leftwich in the next show from 12 to 3. You're going to get a chance to talk to Shell Woods, and you really haven't had that as a long narrative form since they got here. And there's things like that you're going to get to, initially hear for the first time or one of the first times. So that's what Media Days does. It exposes the football players and staff that you may not regularly have heard from since spring ball, but you may not regularly hear from the real season based on one reason or another.
Yep. And you do get to see a side of the guys and the coaches beyond just straight football talk. And we'll get some of that too.
Yeah.
That'll be fun too.
Yep. And I'll tell you, Coach McGuire is a media person's dream come true. I mean, he tells it like it is. He throws in a coach speak every now and then, but mostly his answers are honest, from the heart answers. And you're going to get a nugget here or there that you weren't expecting or that you didn't know about or something, because he is so honest, and he's very forthright on his expectations and his players, and I think that's part of his MO in building relationships, is that honesty.
Another thing, we are in the South End Zone.
Yes.
It's really cool. It's really cool doing the Media Day here in the South End Zone building, but we're out in the South End Zone. We could score a touchdown right now if we wanted to. We'll have Craig dunk on the goalpost here in a second, or maybe Choice run behind us and do it just like John Carlos.
I volunteer Choice.
Yeah, there we go. He can jump off the chair or something.
Yeah.
But just being on the field, it's another level of excitement. It's another added boost. You're looking up into the press box over there, or the suites that maybe Craig sits in, and you're walking around. It's fun to be here, and it gets you excited for football season as the marquee season here at Texas Tech. Certainly you're excited about basketball and softball and baseball and all the other sports, but football season really is something special here in Lubbock.
And all the reserve seats have their little padded cushions.
That's right.
So they're ready.
That's right.
They
ready.
are ready.
All right, we'll take our first break. We'll come back with some headlines. 100.7 The Score. It's the end of the bench.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
All right, welcome back. It is 100.7 The Score. It is the end of the bench, and we are live with Joey McGuire. Joey, you just took questions there at the press conference. The most interesting thing to me you talked about was creating adversity here in camp, throwing extra flags and creating those scenarios where maybe like in the Colorado game there's some weird
no doubt
pass interference or roughing the passer.
Which it wasn't, by the way.
Well, you said it. I would agree.
Yeah.
Do you have those planned out, or is that going to be a feel thing with?
It's more of a feel thing of like how good everybody's feeling, to kind of like ruffle some feathers, of it when things are just ginning along and everybody's feeling really good, and then all of a sudden, man, throw a wrench into it and just kind of see how everybody responds. And it's good sometimes when they don't respond the right way, because I'll stop practice, cut the music, and, go through like, hey, this is going to happen. Like, you have got to get to the next play. This helps us. It doesn't help us at all. And so I think with a mature team that we have, they'll respond the right way, but we still got to create some of that.
You know, Coach, you've got around 17 portal players. You've got some incoming freshmen. And if somebody asked me about Joey McGuire, one of the first words that comes out of my mouth is relationships. How have you been able to do what you do so well and have those relationships with players, with so many new ones, but yet don't forget the ones that are here? And I know that's been tough on you, but how have you done that?
Well, they're going to get the same guy every single day, man.
Yep.
Whenever when you commit to Tech and become a Red Raider, you know, they're stuck with me through the rest of their life, you know, and thank goodness. Yeah, and I'm glad they're with us, but they really do. They're going to get the same guy. You know, I challenge anybody that's been – this is my 31st year, and so my 31st team that I'm a part of as a coach, and I promise you, every single person, whether they liked it or didn't like it, they still got the same guy every single day. So I think when they know I'm consistent and, you know, my best part of my day, without a doubt, is being around the players. And so they feel that. You know, that we have a couple of new student coaches. And I came around the corner, and one of them said, I heard that about you. I heard that you're going to hear you coming because you're so loud and always fired up. And I said, yeah, you find a day I'm not, man. And, you know, we're all in trouble.
Yep. You talked a little bit about your coordinators in your press conference. When you were hiring your offensive coordinator, what did you see about Mac Leftwich that made you think this is somebody I want to talk to a little bit deeper? It's something I've watched film on. I've talked to other coaches about him. What was it about Mac Leftwich that pulled that trigger?
Well, I knew his dad, number one.
Okay.
I mean, his dad's been a college coach. He's a high school coach right now, so he can go see his boys coach, because all three of them coach in college. And so I knew his dad. He's a coach's kid. G.J. Kinney is a really, really good friend of mine, and so I knew him. The elf, Eric Morse, is a really good friend of mine, and I knew him. And then, you know, so I was able to reach out to some people and really know who he was. And then, you know, whenever I was talking to him and watching, the one thing that I told him after I waited till after he said, Coach, I'm coming, I said, you need to understand, you may have more pressure on you than I have on me. And he looked at me like, what do you mean? And I said, well, one thing about Texas Tech fans, they understand offensive football. You know what I'm saying? Like, they get that part of all of that. And so I saw still that he has the air raid concepts, learning from Eric, but he has his own stuff, and he pulls some different things from some really, really good offensive minds. And I just love his demeanor, and so I was really excited that we got him.
Did the fact that he developed Cam Ward when he's at Carnot Word, did that play into a thought process of, boy, he could – Barron's probably there, but he's got some young quarterbacks behind that he can develop?
Yeah, not only just he's a great talent evaluator in the quarterback room. I mean, he is the guy that gets – and he should get credit for finding that guy and really pushing Eric to take him when they were in Incarnate Word. You know, and I think he's done that. Like, you're going to see our number 3, who I feel great about coming in any game. He's one game in the ACC, but Mitch is a really, really good quarterback, and Mac knew about him even before. You know, he was probably going to try to get him at Texas State if we hadn't stole Mac from Texas State, you know, and got Mitch. And so I love his evaluation. And then I do think he's going to be able to help Barron go to another level with just the little bitty things, because Max played quarterback, and you know there's some little things in just throwing the football and being more accurate and what he's looking at that I think Mac's going to bring from the standpoint of, you know, he played the position.
I got to believe in the film room it's really going to help.
Yeah, no doubt. And then, man, our assistant quarterback coach is an absolute stud. That's Lindsey Scott. Lindsey Scott threw 60 touchdowns in this offense as a player. He won the Walter Payton Award, which is the Heisman Trophy at the FCS. So you bring another guy in there like that it really makes a difference.
When you interviewed for the job, you had the binder, right? The Awakening of the Giants. You look back on that year 4. Where do you think you are on that plan?
I think we're in a good spot. I mean, I feel the frustration because I'm really frustrated that we have not been able to make another step, and that step to me is getting into the Big 12 championship. I think, we were closer last year because our quarterback was healthy, and so I think I always tell everybody, I would have bet any amount of money. If you would have said year 1 and year 2, then you're going to have to play 3 different quarterbacks. I would have said you're absolutely crazy. And so I thought you saw that last year. I do think we're on the right path. I think if you ask the players and the feel of that locker room, they feel like we're ready to take another step. And that step, I am not a coach speak guy. I never have been. I think whenever you're a coach speak guy, you're guarding yourself. You're almost protecting yourself if something bad happens. Well, I didn't tell you we could play in the Big 12 championship. I really do think it's time to take that step.
Coach, you said in your press conference earlier that there were some legitimate competitions going on.
Yeah.
Not only for first, second, but maybe second, third.
Yeah.
And when you're out there and you've got this 4 weeks, what makes a winner? What makes a winner go from second team to first team? What do those players have in their mind? Here's what I've got to do. Here's what Coach McGuire is going to look at for me to get to that position.
I think the biggest thing is we asked our guys in January. January 10th they moved in, and I think we met on January 12th. And we said, hey, look, keep the main thing the main thing. And the first one is we want to be on time to everything we got going on. But the other thing is we said empty the tank when we go. I want to see guys that are competing that they go out and empty the tank.
During practice.
During practice. Like, I don't want to see them holding back. I don't want to see them worried about making mistakes. I want to see them to go out and play at the standard that we want to practice and play at. I think that's number one. And then you get into the things of, like, how are they performing, or, who's making the middle bust in pressure situations. Physically, how are they holding up against, we've got – you're talking about tackles. Like, I feel great about our left tackle, but, the right tackle, I feel great about those guys. But who's going to be the guy, Jacob, Hunter, Will Jadis? Yeah. Well, guess what? They're going to face David Bailey and Romello Hyde every single day. So we're going to find out real quick who's going to hold up. Same way in the running back room. And there's great competition going in the running back room. And like, who's going to be able to hold up? Because all 3 of them can run the football. I'm not worried about them running the football. Who's going to be the most consistent catching the football? They all catch the football well out of the backfield. But we lost a guy that could pick up any blitz and be physical doing that. Who's going to be able to do that in the passing game to be able to protect a quarterback?
There was a time we talked about 3 quarterbacks on the field at the same time. We're going to get 3 running backs, 2 tight ends, 13, 23.
Well, I'm going to tell you what.
Personnel.
If John Carlos Miller and Terrence Carter and Q and Cam Dickey and Jacoby Williams, if they're all on the field at the same time, that is not a bad thing. I'm just telling y'all, because there's some playmakers, some absolute playmakers.
Taj Brooks was Taj Brooks.
Yes.
He ran, and he ran hard. He ran good. He was a great runner. Will we see this room of running backs become a little bit more pass-catching ability?
Well, I think they do, all 3 of them. The one thing that I think you will see out of this room, I think they'll catch the ball well out of the backfield. But these guys, speed-wise, are different.
Jacoby Williams.
Jacoby Williams ran 22 like 08. Quentin Joyner was 21 like 8.7. Same way with Cam Dickey. He's been over 21. So, like, when these guys get in the open field, saw that against Arkansas with Jacoby Williams. Remember, he took the ball and hit his head on the goalpost, in the open field.
Yep.
I think you're going to see that out of all 3 of those guys. Like, they're more home run running backs. Now, me saying that, I'll take Taj Brooks any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
We'd have given him another year.
No doubt. I would have found a way. But I do think that's what you'll see out of those guys. They're a little bit different.
Yep.
You've been great at identifying talent and talking to the media about guys who might be great next year or the year after. Mike Dingle's been one of those guys. Yeah. How exciting is it to have him be able to step into a role, and maybe who's another guy, the next guy that you might identify as a future star?
Yeah, I'm really excited about Mike. He fits what we're asking him to do. Really fits in Shield's defense. So I think that they really are a great marriage right there. I said the two guys on the defense side of the ball, Chetta and John Curry, I think are going to go to a whole nother level. They're young guys. I think B.J. Jordan, who has started for us and has done well, but we're moving him to the high safety, and I think, you're going to see some really good things out of him. And then on the offensive side of the ball, I'm really high on Jacob Ponton. He played well. He didn't give up a sack or any pressures against Arkansas in the bowl game at 283 pounds, and now he's 308 pounds.
Yep.
So, a young man growing up and being the man and a grown man that he is. So I'm really excited about him.
All right, maybe we'll get some tackle over, too.
Yeah, no doubt.
13 personnel tackle over, get some jumbo package. All right, really appreciate your time, Joey. This is 100.7 The Score Media Days here at Big 12.
Hey, get you some honey
Tech.
and don't lose that voice.
Hey, I'm ready, man. I trust me, I've got a whole nother coach's voice that I can go to another level.
All right, more after this.
Thank you.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back, 100.7 The Score. It is the End of the Bench. We are live at Texas Tech Media Days in the south end zone of Jones AT&T Stadium. Rob Breaux, Craig Wells. We're joined by Cowboy Coy as he enters the, we'll call it a studio here in the south end zone. How you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Excited to be here.
So are you a real cowboy? Do you calf rope? Or?
Yeah, I was a big healer and calf roper. I rode steers and miniature bulls. I never got old enough to ride actual bulls. But
you know how hard it is to heel? I mean, the header's got it made. The healer, that's tough, man.
I know, dude. It's rare to find a good healer.
Yeah, and you better have a good horse.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. You got to get out.
What's been the biggest key for you and Baron Morton to have a connection in the last 2 years on the field? It seems like y'all have a repertoire together.
It really came through just every time he wanted to go run routes, I was the first man that was there. So, ever since freshman year. And then we actually built a relationship because we grew up 45 minutes away from each other, and we already knew each other prior to college football. So, I mean, it's helped us on the field and off the field. He's one of my good friends. I can go to him about anything.
Coy, this year's team, you got a new offense. Where do you see that inside receiver position fitting in this offense? Are you going to be running short routes, long routes?
Well, the offense that we just got put into with Leftwich is a lot of choice, which is awesome for the slot.
Yep.
I mean, I have a lot more room. I can find little holes in the defense with zone and then man-on-man, go win my one-on-one. So I feel like I fit in this offense more than I ever have before. So, I mean, I'm excited for it.
Will you be going up against a lot of linebackers as far as coverage? Will they bring a linebacker out to go head-to-head with you? Or?
Right. Sometimes it's a roll-down safety. Sometimes the linebacker scooted out. And sometimes I'm man-on-man with a will linebacker, which is my ball. So, I mean, I'm excited for that for sure.
Yep.
What's the biggest difference between being outside and inside? Is it in a new offense, is it too different? Or
it's I want to say it's a lot different, but the big thing is I have a lot more space. There's a two-way go outside, and you kind of just got to play with what your 1 yard of grass. Inside, I can sell a lot more things in the 5 yard span than I can outside. Have a lot more freedom.
I know you've watched a lot of tape this summer, and because you're going inside like that,
right.
Who have you watched, and what have you picked up from that?
About 5 days a week, I turn on NFL one-on-ones for about 30 minutes while I stretch. So there's a lot of people I watch, like James Williams, Keenan Allen. I watch Cooper Kupp. I watch Tyler Lockett. Everybody's like really technical with their routes. Hunter Renfro, people kind of hate on him, but he's definitely technical with his routes a lot.
When you say technical with your routes, if it's a 6 yard out, it's got to be 6 yards.
Right. The game's all about steps. If you can get your steps right, the right yards, you can get the depth, and that's also going to help the timing of the quarterback. Even if you don't get a lot of separation, the ball can be on time, and you still get your yards that game.
Who's the toughest defensive back to go against here at Texas Tech?
Toughest defensive back to go against here at Texas Tech? I don't know. Me and there's a lot of good ones. Me and Mo got after it last year. We compete. We are in the same class. He plays corner. I obviously play slot now, but Back freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, I mean, we got after it every single practice. So he knows a lot what I can do. I know a lot what he can do. So it was pretty fun going against him.
Growing up in Stephenville, you knew about Tech. I mean, you're a Texas kid, and you knew. But when you came here and you started playing, what surprised you a little bit about being a Tech football player and playing in games and those kind of things? What kind of caught you by surprise?
The game is faster for about the first week.
Yep.
And then once you make a couple plays, it slows right back down to high school. And then when you get comfortable in the situation that you get put in, and the more film you watch, more preparation, it just feels just like high school again, slows back down. Another thing is what shocked me about Lubbock was it's just like Steenville. I mean, it's just like a small town feeling. If you're a football player here, everyone knows you just like where I came from.
Have you noticed the difference between a Tech crowd and an opposing team crowd, other than the fact that they're all rooting against you? But it's a different atmosphere, isn't it?
Oh, it's 100% different atmosphere. I think Lubbock, if I was an away team, would be one of the hardest places to play in the Big 12. There's not really anything like it, especially the traditions that we got going here.
There was a video this summer of you dunking the ball at the practice facility, the basketball practice facility. You had a couple dunks. I think Terrence Carter had a couple dunks.
Yeah, he definitely had a couple dunks.
Who won that dunk contest?
Oh, Terrence Carter. That boy. I've never seen something like that. I'm like, oh, my gosh, no warm-up, just jumping over people. I was like, all right, you got it. I can do my little simple things, but I can't do that.
It seemed like when you zoomed in on the faces in the background, you had some surprise faces.
Oh, well, yeah, 100%.
The Terrence Carter faces were pretty shocked.
He was like, yeah, stand right there, jumps over. I was like, hold on, dude. I'm over here trying to do a windmill, and you're over jumping people.
Yep. Tell me, Coy, when Coach Leftwich came into the receiver room and he started his program, his offense, his philosophy, what did you grab hold of and say, I think this is a winner?
Well, the first meeting I had with him, he came in and I just kind of texted him. I was like, hey, I want to kind of learn your offense before we get into the next year. This is before we even played our bowl game. And his first three things was play fast, be decisive, don't be touched. And I was like, heck yeah, I love that. You know what I mean? And he's like, even if you make the wrong decision, if you play fast and you're being decisive, I won't get mad at you. So it just kind of frees you up mentally to where you can't really make a mistake. So, I mean, I'm excited for it.
Team leadership. Who's the team leaders besides yourself?
Team leaders, quarterback, Barrymore, and he's a big voice. You got Jacob Rodriguez. Skyler on the defense, he speaks up a lot. He kind of has a lot of followers on the team. I mean, you got Mo, you got JC, you got B Ram. I mean, there's a lot of leaders. And the good thing about this team is they understand that one voice goes a long way, and there doesn't have to be 10 voices at once. So if there's 2 or 3 leaders in a group, there's going to be one kind of speaking and then the other 2 facilitating. So it's kind of just going off each other's backs.
If I say Joey McGuire, you say?
Damn, I don't want to say that on live radio. He's a good dude. He's real. He's real with everybody. Yeah.
You go from number 8 to number 3, honoring Team Luke. How big of an honor is that?
I mean, it's always an honor to represent something bigger than yourself, especially bigger than football, because that's what we all play it for. If you don't have a why, then why are you playing it? You know what I mean? So I think it's a big honor. I hope I know I can represent him well.
You know, I got to know Coach Siegel real well and Luke, and I tell you, he is going to be thrilled that you're wearing that jersey.
Well,
I tell you, he could not pick a better human to represent what Luke represented, and I know he'll tell you that, but
yes,
I wanted to tell you in advance that he will be extremely happy that you're the one.
I'm extremely happy to wear it. Yes, sir.
Or we've got a text who texts into the show quite a bit, bullfighter.
Okay.
He rides bulls.
Okay.
He wants you to get on a bull with him. It's going to have to be, January, February, maybe, if that works out.
Yeah.
What teammate do you think could get on a bull and compete?
I already know. He got on a bull at my dad's arena 2 springs ago. It was Tanner Allen. And he goes, he comes to me. We get friends. We go hunt all the time. And he's like, you know what? I want to ride a bull. I was like, I can make it happen. And he's like, okay. He came home to Steamville that weekend, and he got on a bull. I was like, oh, my gosh. That's freaky. It's kind of nerve-wracking your first time.
You say you go hunting. What do you like to go hunting? Birds?
I love hunting hogs.
Hogs,
I have 2 thermals. I go out probably every 2 weekends, especially during the summer when we have time off. especially in Steamville. I have a lot of spots out there, but hogs is fun. There's no rules, no limits.
And there's also nobody saying don't kill hogs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They'll probably hire you to come kill them.
Yes, sir.
What's your plan after football, Coy?
Playing after football, I really don't have a plan, like exact plan, but go to the NFL, play, and then probably go back in rodeo with my dad every now and then. Rope, definitely calf rope or head. I'm not healing.
Is that where you picked up your cowboy fun?
Oh yeah. I rodeoed since I was 3 years old, and then I roped calves, obviously head, heel. I did everything all around till 8th grade. And then I kind of just chose football because practice got in the afternoon, and then I liked football more at that point.
Dad's a bit of a legend there in Charlton.
Oh, yeah.
Was your dad a calf roper?
Yeah, he did everything. He calf roped, he head heeled, his big saddle bronc, and then they just won their 5th national championship.
He's coach at Charlton, right? Rodeo coach.
5th national championship this year. Yep.
You could take the rodeo guys that have lived or live in Stephenville and be pretty good.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's a whole bunch of tough guys, for sure.
Yeah, they wouldn't get out tough.
No,
that's for sure.
And you'll be surprised. A lot of them are more athletic than you think. They're just roughies, so they don't show it.
Do you have a road trip you're excited to take? Maybe a first trip to Utah? Or
Yeah, I really want to go play at Utah. I really want to go play at Arizona State. Just the different atmosphere that I haven't experienced yet. I'm excited to play those because they're also 2 big teams in the Big 12. You know what I mean? And I also want to go play at K-State. I heard that's a really hard place to play, and I didn't get to go freshman year. So.
Yep.
All right. Now I'm not going to ask you to make a wager or anything, but yards, goals.
Yeah.
You have some personal goals this season?
Oh, 100%. If you don't have personal goals, then what are you doing? So I have personal goals over 1,000 yards this year, and then go get that 10 touchdown mark for sure.
All right. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Yes,
Get it.
Live at Texas Tech Media Days. We'll continue on after this. 100.7 The Score. It's the end of the bench.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
All right, welcome back. 100.7 The Score. If you're watching live on YouTube, you see our silhouettes. The silhouette in the middle is Robert Giovannetti. Gio.
2 hips and all.
2 hips and all. The bionic man, Robert Giovannetti.
More hips than I had a couple weeks ago, for sure.
Are you gonna send the airport detector? Are you gonna send it screaming every time?
I understand. Yes, I got a new hip 2 weeks ago today. 2 weeks ago, I was in the hospital getting a hip, and from what I've told, it'll set off the detector now for the rest of my life.
We're going to get you a T-shirt that says, "I've got a steel hip. Let me go."
Yeah, let me through.
Name tag or something. Yeah.
Yeah, let me through.
All right. Media Days. We talked about at the open of the show. You have Big 12 Media Days. You have the end of spring. You have Big 12 Media Days. You have Texas Tech Media Days. It's kind of days on the calendar as you get back into August and September and game day. What are you doing in your office? Any new initiatives here for game day at the Jones?
Yeah, we've got a guy that we brought in last year, Ryan Deedy, who I think really improved our game day atmosphere here. And one of the big things he wanted to work on was just the entrance of the horse, which comes right through basically where we're sitting right now. So he's just been working on this all year long, right? So he'll come to me in December and January and go, "Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this?" I think the one thing fans will notice right away is we've added to our fireworks pregame and in-game. We're working on some different drone show ideas, and so just any enhancements we can make, we're looking to make them.
We had the new speakers last year.
Yeah, new speakers that came with the new video board.
Rattling the press box. Then we kind of got quieter and quieter. Can we turn those back up?
It's so funny. And Craig has been here, so he knows this. You can't please
no, you can't.
Not only the level of the sound, but what it's playing, you can't please
them. So I've gotten, it's too loud, it's too soft, it's too whatever. And I'm not a sound guy, so I can't go out and say, "Oh yeah, we need to fix the woofer or anything." I don't know about those things. I try to sit in different places and walk around in different places to hear how it sounds. And I realize it sounds different in some places than others. It's funny, the people up in the suites on the south end think it's too quiet. Yeah. And it's funny, but they just don't hear it like the way other people do.
And do you always have to play hip-hop, Robert?
See, he's messing with it.
Yeah, I didn't open the can of worms there.
There was a guy that on a message board a couple years ago posted, "Hey, I had lunch with my uncle, and I told him I was complaining to Giov about the amount of country they play at football, and he goes, "My uncle said, I complained to him about the amount of hip hop they're playing." And the guy wrote, "Godspeed to Giov. He can't."
The duality of man there, Giov.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Video board. We got some new segments on our video board?
We're working on a bunch of new stuff. Actually, I think Ryan might even be up in the press box today to try out some new things. They've been sending me some things. I've been out the last 2 weeks, but they've been sending me clips and things. And so we're really trying to take advantage of what the board offers. And we're going to try to pay homage to some things that maybe have been done in the past. And just throughout the year, so just tell people to pay attention.
And you're going to have a CEO cam, right? Kiss cam, CEO cam.
Yeah, I think we're going to.
Are you ready for that,
We
Robert?
were, I got to give us credit. We were ahead of the curve a couple years ago and killed the Kiss cam, just because of things like what happened, but not that necessarily. But it kind of culminated with there were some college kids. You could tell the guy and the girl didn't want to be there, and our team. The crowd was reacting. Our team kept going back to him, And I actually talked to the girl the next day, and she goes, I get it. When you're on, you need to expect to be embarrassed when you come to a game. And I was like, really? You really shouldn't expect to be embarrassed. So we that was 3 or 4 years ago that we killed the Kiss cam. And when I saw what happened at that Coldplay concert, I thought, this is a good reason.
I talked to David Hogan one time, and I said, we're ripe for a incident to happen. I said it's going to be the wrong two, or it's going to be the right two that are not where they're supposed to be.
There's no doubt. Really, only bad things can come from the Kiss cam for sure.
Yep.
I've got 2 questions on paying homage. Video board question: are we going to get the Ghost Town egg back?
We're
legendary.
We're working on a version of the egg.
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
We don't know if it'll be ready this year or not.
Okay.
But it's
on the wagon coming in town.
The wagon. Yeah.
It's always on my mind. Believe me.
That is awesome.
The eggs are always on my mind.
And the clickers, they're coming back.
Can't bring the clickers back. I wish we could, but we can't bring them back.
Yeah.
So was that the other one?
100 years.
100 years.
Yeah. Potential jersey. 100 years. Are we getting?
I think
Starbucks unis or something like that.
It'd be interesting to see. Adidas is a great partner. They're always aware of things. It's funny. The guy Matt at Adidas, our lead designer, he knows so much about the history of Texas Tech. I mean, he really dove into when we. And it's funny because he remembered, and Craig, you probably remember this. Rob's too young. Stanford came here to play the Lady Raiders at the Coliseum back in the day, and he was the Stanford tree back then. So he kind of remembered Tech and Lubbock, and so he
got booed big time.
He did.
Big time.
He for sure did, yeah.
Yep.
So we've got some ideas for that for sure.
Okay, we've talked about it on the air. Any chance of Jacob Rodriguez's wife flying some helicopters for a flyover and letting him see her fly in?
Well, we're actually working because she's based close to Manhattan, Kansas.
Right.
So if she does it, it's probably going to be at a Kansas State game.
Okay.
But just because of logistics and the way that her base operates. But, Jacob would come out, obviously, to watch that. We've been talking with our friends at Kansas State. They want to try to help make that happen. There's some national interest from the pregame shows in that story as well. So it's going to be a cool experience, I think. Yeah. It's a great story.
That's a great
for sure.
storyline.
Yeah.
Great storyline.
That's right. We would love – first of all, I want to get those choppers here, but I don't know if that's part you can call them that or not. But we'll take whatever we get. But I want to be able to get her to – she wants to do that really bad.
And here's your chance to tell everybody, those flyovers are not easy to get.
It's one of the hardest things that's ever happened. The year before, we had one almost every game. Last year, we had 5 booked. 3 of them bailed late because of deployment somewhere else. 1 couldn't do it because of cloud cover, and I can't remember what happened on the other one. But we're trying again. We've got some booked this year, and we'll just keep our fingers crossed, and I'll just take the abuse if we don't get them.
And it's completely out of your control.
No, and I love the flyover. It's one of my favorite things. I love going to other places and judging how they do flyovers versus how we do them, and there's a timing to it. And, again, you remember this. We've had some bad timings of flyovers. I feel like we've got them down pretty good when we can have one. It was disappointing last year not to have one for sure.
Robert, give kudos to your marketing and communications team, your social media team, the whole department. And I know you've got different groups work on different things.
Right.
But give a shout-out to them. They have done a remarkably good job of keeping the brand out front.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you look at our marketing and promotions team, our comms team, we have a social media group, we have a creative services unit, and then our broadcast service unit. They're so good, and we just brought Elise Bressler back. Elise was here for years, and we just brought her back to kind of lead our content management, and she's doing a fantastic job. Matt Dowdy has been a great comms director for years and years and years. So we feel a really, really good spot. We're always thinking about the way we can get the Double T out in front of people and tell our story, and I think we do a really good job of it. Are we perfect? No. Can we do more? Yes. But we're doing what we can, and I think we want to add to that.
Your Adidas rollout was second to none. I can tell you that.
We got nominated for a national award. We went to Jonathan Boutros and I went to New York for a Sports Business Journal award. We were one of 5 nominees nationally. We lost to Caitlin Clark in the WNBA and something they had done. But we were glad to be there, and we actually said, we went up there, we thought, we're not going to win. We don't want to win. Then we got through your competitive juices flow, and you go, man, I want to win this thing.
Yeah.
And then so we said, hey, we need to do something else cool that we get nominated to come back here for, because it was a cool event for sure.
All right, we got about 30 seconds to a minute here. Stillwater, we had the Turnpike CCR show at Boone Pickens. Dream production here at the Jones, filling it out. Who would you get?
Who would I get? For me, I'm an old guy, right? I'd get like a throwback 80s thing, like Journey, Van Halen kind of thing. But you can never go wrong with a George Strait or a Garth Brooks or somebody like that. I think those are cool too. And
is that on the drawing board?
That is on the drawing board to have a concert here next year.
It's capable of doing it with your new ramps and
for
everything.
Sure. Yes, and they've worked on it. We tried to get one this year, just couldn't get it done. But I think you will see one here in the
future.
It's
all about revenue now.
Revenue, baby. Hey, guys, thanks for having me on.
All right, appreciate it, Gio. That was Robert Giovannetti of Texas Tech. It's at Texas Tech Media Days. Live, the bottom line up next, presented by Accurate Air. We'll see you on the other side.
This has been the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 107thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.